Welcome back to OwanaPaedia, your one-stop center for the history of this country. Tony Geoffrey Owana and Herbert Semiano in charge of operations. We are still at the International Conference Center way back 25th February 1987, where President Yoweri Museveni is meeting the land friends of the Uganda Law Society, who had invited him to share views with him.
Tony Owana really loves our history. He has a passion for doing research, and he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
Banange, have you subscribed to OwanaPaedia? I don't know what you are waiting for.
And he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
I would like the Law Reform Commission, as a matter of urgency, to come up with proposals concerning a new marriage and divorce law so that we can get rid of the present law of marriage and divorce. It is absurd, in my opinion, that we should be having this law, which was passed in England in the 19th century, on our statute books. Even England has since drastically amended this law, but we, who should not have had it in the first place, are still applying it. This law, which forces every man to marry one wife,
Tony Owana really loves our history. He has a passion for doing research, and he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
Banange, have you subscribed to OwanaPaedia? I don't know what you are waiting for.
And he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
When we went off here, we had come to the tricky part of our marriage relations and the laws that make us marry one wife or make wives marry only one husband. That one left many of the land friends laughing, and that's where we want to start off in this very, very wonderful discussion, courtesy of OwanaPaedia.
For history, now give me all. OwanaPaedia, OwanaPaedia, Owana for history.
I would like the Law Reform Commission, as a matter of urgency, to come up with proposals concerning a new marriage and divorce law so that we can get rid of the present law of marriage and divorce. It is absurd, in my opinion, that we should be having this law, which was passed in England in the 19th century, on our statute books. Even England has since drastically amended this law, but we, who should not have had it in the first place, are still applying it. This law, which forces every man to marry one wife, and also every wife to marry one man, and which gives to the man only one ground for divorce, i.e. adultery, or which requires the woman seeking divorce to couple any other ground with adultery, is an African and contrary to our cultural values and traditions. Our land law is equally in need of urgent reform. The present law is still very weak and does not give sufficient protection to tenants from being improperly evicted by absentee landlords who claim all of a sudden that they want to develop their land. It is also known that some people used their government positions in the last regimes to acquire land titles, and that others bribed officers in the land office to acquire land titles in respect of land held under customary tenure. Actually, this is a very big problem in many areas now, because we have got squatters there, thousands of them. People who were legitimately living on such land were summarily evicted, and the land is now owned by these unscrupulous individuals who used improper means to acquire the land but who have titles. I think the law should be amended to allow such ill-acquired titles to be cancelled so that the land reverts to its rightful owners. There are many other areas of our law which are in urgent need of reform and which you, as legal practitioners, are no doubt familiar with. Our traffic law, for example, must be amended immediately if we have to deal effectively with traffic offenders who are daily causing death to innocent travelers. In traffic cases, fines have ceased to be a deterrent and should be replaced by sentences of imprisonment. Driving certificates of traffic offenders who cause death or injury on the road should in addition be cancelled. This law must generally be strengthened. Let me now talk about a matter which concerns you as legal practitioners, but which may not be directly connected with the law reform. I've been informed that some legal practitioners are corrupt and that they bribe police, magistrates, and even some judges. I'm sorry to go so far, but we have heard it through our reports. Certainly for magistrates I know, about the judges I'm not so sure. It has been said elsewhere, more in jest than in earnest, that there are two types of lawyers: those who know the law and those who know the judge. In Uganda, this may no longer be a joke. Some lawyers, it is known, try to ensure that their cases are heard by a particular judge and in the process seek unnecessary court adjournments and even go further to interfere with the registry. This matter is irregular and should be stopped. It is also known that some lawyers bring cases to court without getting instructions from clients, and some even steal clients' money. Those lawyers who perpetrate such illegal acts may not be many, but they tarnish the image of the whole profession. I'm therefore calling upon the disciplinary committee of the Law Council to be more vigorous and resolute in punishing severely those lawyers guilty of professional misconduct, so that such unethical behavior can be brought to an end. It has been said by some lawyers that lawyers are not judges and that their role is to present the facts of the case before the court as objectively as possible and leave it to the judge to decide one way or the other. If this is what is supposed to happen, then it is a disservice to society. A lawyer has got a conscience and a duty to society. And if in the process of his instructions, he should be convinced that his client, the accused, committed the offense, he should advise him to plead guilty. If he refuses to do so, he should decline to take his instructions. In practice, however, even when certain lawyers are convinced that the accused committed the offense, they throw themselves heart and soul into the case, devise all sorts of defenses, mislead the court, and intimidate witnesses through cross-examination, with the result that the criminal sometimes escapes justice. Lawyers should re-examine themselves in this respect and stop aiding crime. Let me finish by affirming that the NRM government is totally committed to the rule of law and the protection of human rights in the country. Any problem that may appear in the enforcement of the law is temporary and will be ironed out. Anybody, whatever his status, who breaks the law will be punished. Even in the north of the country, where we are still fighting the rebels, our soldiers have strict orders not to molest civilians or touch their property. We have established what we call a liaison officer at every brigade level. The job of this man is to record all complaints from the public. Any member of the public who is offended should immediately come and report to the liaison officer, who has no other job except to receive those complaints. And then he tells the commanding officer to immediately investigate all this. So there is no way a crime can be committed by our soldiers and nothing is done about it, unless those against whom it is committed do not report it. So there is no question of us violating human rights in the north. It is said that in every basket there is a rotten potato. We also have some members of the NRA who do not comply with the NRA Code of Conduct. But as soon as we discover them, we punish them with firmness. Therefore, we shall ensure that the rule of law is restored and maintained so that we can reestablish social justice and assure economic development for our people and our country. Thank you very much.
As the president himself has said, we also want to say thank you very much. But we don't want to stop there. We want to ask you to subscribe to OwanaPaedia, because this year, 2023, we have quite a number of packages, and especially so because we want to account for that exceedingly long break in which you and I were not in communion. This is Tony Geoffrey Owana, Herbert Semiano, asking you to stay on. There's more coming.
OwanaPaedia, OwanaPaedia, Owana for history. If we go, OwanaPaedia,
Banange, have you subscribed to OwanaPaedia? I don't know what you are waiting for.
OwanaPaedia, Owana for history.